You granted an interview recently where you said your soul has left the PDP, only your body remains. And, you know, the defections continue, and hints at defections are continuing. We've heard commentary that has dominated the headlines from Mr. Segun Showumi, PDP governorship candidate in Ogun State in the last election. So the question is, are you leaving the PDP? And if you're leaving the PDP, are you considering joining the coalition?
I am not a major stakeholder in PDP. Today, there is only one major stakeholder in PDP, and that's from Wike. There is none other. All former governors, current governors, he has insulted them, black and blue. He doesn't care. And they've all taken it with uncommon equanimity. But to call me a major stakeholder, no. I've always been a conscience of reason in PDP. I'm a technocrat. I'm a professional. I have a job. Politics for me is part-time. In fact, if the miracle will happen, it should be that politicians in Nigeria must first of all present their credentials, show us what work they've done before, the businesses, the empires they have built before they come. So what is happening is that there are too many people who live virtually on politics in Nigeria, and so it makes it so difficult for them to understand, to appreciate the suffering of the ordinary people of Nigeria. Nobody is talking about governance again in Nigeria. They are campaigning. Yesterday I drove through Akure and I already saw campaign offices of Mr. President. It's unbelievable. INEC is watching. People want to register new parties. They can't register it because they will put all kinds of bottlenecks on their path. So for me, whatever happens, when I said my soul is that of PDP, there is nobody except maybe those benefiting from this government or any other government who would be happy to see how PDP is in tatters today, to see the rags PDP is wearing today, just because one man wants to keep PDP for himself. He knows what he's doing. They say he's bold, he's courageous. I dare him to join APC. He's holding PDP down, hoping that whenever APC runs into trouble, then he will resurrect PDP for himself. That's all. He knows that PDP is dead. The man who says presidency should be, zoned to the south, wanted to be vice president to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. He doesn't like to hear that truth, but that's the truth. He wanted to be vice president to Atiku Abubakar. So if he is the current vice president and they won that election, will he be talking the way he's talking now? And at any rate, each and every political party has a right to field any candidate, no matter where that candidate is coming from. Any candidate, whether in the north, in the south, in the east, in the west. It is the right, it is the sole prerogative of every political party. It is not the sole property of the Nyesom Wike. In fact, what he is doing now in the decent society is tantamount to taking a coup against a political party by going on out and using forces of coercion and all manner of subterfuge to fight the party that made him everything that he is today. I have no fear of contradiction about everything that he is today came from that party. Please go on.
Isn't that, Chief Momodu, I wanted to find out from you. So, two things I want you to address. One, isn't there merits, whether or not he has a moral argument, and I'll explain what I mean by that moral argument. Isn't there merit in the argument as to presidency should stay in the South, given the fact that Momodu Buhari was here for 8 years? That's on one hand. I would like you to respond to that. But in addition to that question, the moral argument here is, he has clearly said he will support the president in 2027. Does he have a moral right to now dictate how the direction of your party should go?
Anytime I hear these questions, it sounds very unfortunate. Number one, he does not have the right to determine where PDP, whether he feels it is right or not. He has already chosen his candidate ahead. So he no longer has a say about what PDP will do. PDP would have to strategize if they want to stay alive. They have to strategize about where their candidate will come from. He is fighting Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar does not have any state. Tinubu has Lagos State permanently locked down. Atiku does not have one. Atiku does not control any governor in Nigeria. So why are they desperately afraid of the man? That is the only reason. I don't care if Tinubu decides to govern forever. As long as Nigerians allow him, so be it. So that's one of the risks and danger of democracy. But in this case, every Nigerian has the right to contest if he finds a political party. And Wike cannot be the sole administrator of PDP. And that's where all the problems started from in the first instance. The North that you are talking about, there are different configurations for different political parties. In 1999, Baba Obasanjo, President Olusegun Obasanjo, governed from 1999 to 2007. After that, President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua took over. Unfortunately, we lost him. Then Dr. Goodluck Jonathan completed their term. He was the vice president then. He completed that in 2011. But remember that all this while, we had Major General Muhammadu Buhari, who was contesting perpetually. Nobody challenged him. It did not matter whether against Obasanjo or against Yar'Adua. He was contesting perpetually. Thereafter, so let's do that. The math. Simple arithmetic. 8 years of Obasanjo plus minimum 5 years of Jonathan was already 13 years. Thereafter, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan was allowed to contest in 2011. If he had won that election at that time, that would have made 17 years to the South. I'm talking about PDP now, because PDP was the one in charge. It would have been 17 years out of 24.
Why will a governor
So all those who are arguing it must go first to the North, come down because it's convenient for them, they are being clever by the heart. So this argument about North-South is not in the Constitution of Nigeria. It's a private arrangement within members of a political family. And whatever decision they take, whatever decision they think will favor their party, that is their right. Now, in PDP, you don't want people to go to primaries. It's obvious. He's scared Steve of losing power. It is in his interest for Tinubu to continue, so which is his right. There's nothing wrong with that. But you cannot say it is your own right for your candidate to continue and that others should not find a solution to their own problems. There is nowhere in the world where that works. But because he has the full backing of the federal government, he will continue to make all these ridiculous assertions, holding ridiculous meetings with his cronies and calling them concerned stakeholders, and nothing will happen to him. We saw it what happened in Rivers. Fubara was kicked out because of one man. What was the basis for the state of emergency that we have in Rivers now? Is Rivers State the most troubled state in Nigeria today? The answer is no. Wike is the one who will bring sheriff from somewhere, is the one who will bring secondus from somewhere, is the one who will bring IU from somewhere, and he will kick all of them out like football.
But Chief Momodu, Chief Momodu,
Yes.
isn't the PDP part of its own problem? There were, according to reports, about 26 state chairmen at that meeting on Monday. There were House of Reps members, senators of PDP extraction at that meeting on Monday. And they are all aware of the oddity that Minister Wike is going to support an APC candidate for the 2027 presidential election, and they're going ahead, to converge and rally behind him as he convenes a major stakeholders forum. So isn't PDP part of its own problem?
Oh, no, of course, there's no doubt about that. If governors who have not even spent 2 years are voluntarily decamping to APC, don't you know something is wrong somewhere? Something is wrong with our politicians. That's why I told you I'm not a major stakeholder, and I don't want to be a major stakeholder. All I want is that this democracy, and I'm very happy that this interview is taking place a date of June 12th, so that if we still have any iota of conscience left, we will know that we have damaged this democracy. In fact, all those who suffered for this democracy, especially those in heaven, if they can see us, they will be crying. Where was Wike during that struggle? Who knew characters like him during that struggle? But today, Wike is talking as if he's the founding father of Nigeria. And that whatever he says, as if we have a military ruler as the minister of FCT, and he can belch orders to people because he's intoxicated by power. So that's the issue. I agree with you absolutely that we have many politicians who cannot stand. And so they can't stand for any principle, they can't stand for any ideology, and they are not even ashamed of looking at their own children. See how they are being kicked around like robots. It's unfortunate, but like I said, every man for himself, God for us all.
All right.
Wike definitely is doing what his boss wants him to do. That if your boss tells you that your critics are busybodies and they are bystanders, and that's what we've all become.
All right.
We all work together.
All right, Chief Momodu.
And Tiwaju was our great leader in exile.
All right, Chief Momodu.
Before exile.
Just before, I'm happy we're jumping into that conversation. We just have about 1 to 2 minutes left. If you can do this for us, what should we be reflecting on as far as June 12 is concerned?
Is that I've told you we've damaged this democracy, and I hope we've not damaged it beyond repairs, because the audacity, the effrontery of this set of politicians, whether at the executive level, the legislative level, the local government level, is totally unbelievable.
Chief Momodu, thank you so much. But before I let you go, I think my colleague asked, I don't know whether he gave us an answer. So, with all the things you have said, with concerns...
The answer is simple. That for me, the summary of this interview on the eve of June 12th is that Nigeria is virtually back to civilian dictators who don't care how you feel, what you feel. Nigerians are hungry.
Okay. All right, Chief, so before we let you go, are you staying with the PDP? Fayose has said, rather than join the APC, he will retire. Showomi says maybe he's on his way.
I definitely won't join APC. That one is out of the question. If I wanted to join APC, I won't be speaking to you the way I am this morning. I'll be giving genuine excuses like everyone else who want to join, but they are not bold enough to say so because they are weighing their options. I'm not weighing any option. My soul is totally out of it. I cannot sit in a room where one man will dictate to adults, able-bodied adults who have worked all their lives, and say that he is the Lord of the Manor. I will not be in that room.
Okay. The fight continues, apparently. Chief Dele Momodu, chieftain. I know you say you're not, but we'll still call you a chieftain because you were a presidential aspirant. So you hold a stake.
You can give me any nomenclature.
Yes,
no
you have a seat on the table, Chief Momodu, and may opposition survive so that we'll have a robust democracy. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
Nigeria will survive. No problem. Thank you.